Hello, and welcome back to Witching Hour Arts. Today I'm going to be doing a She-Ra drawing from the Netflix show She-Ra and Princess of Power. And I'm going to be talking about it a little, especially the latest season because it just finished off. So if you haven't watched it, or if you want to go watch it, please go watch it because I'm going to be talking about some spoilery stuff. And now let's get on to the drawing. For this drawing, I actually really wanted to do Catra and Adora since they are now canon officially. They kissed and everything on screen, and it was really sweet. I wasn't originally into this ship, especially in the past seasons, but in this season it really sold it, thankfully. I'm actually really happy with how this drawing turned out, and I'm happy with how She-Ra itself ended because Netflix shows from DreamWorks in the past, especially one particular, didn't handle representation well. It didn't end well, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm really glad that She-Ra got the good ending it deserved, and who knows? It was a very open ending. So maybe there could be more on the way, maybe not, I don't know. I am really happy also to see that Catra is now grown as a person, because I was secretly always rooting for Catra to be like a good person and to see her succeed, because I don't know, I just like her as a character. I just like how she really just goes after everything she wants and she doesn't let anything really hold her back as far as obstacles or people. And I think she deserves a lot of love. I think she deserves, happiness. I think Adora deserves that too. Especially all of the characters. One thing I am really kind of sad about, but not really, is that we didn't get to see Glimmer's mom again, or she was kind of forgotten, really. No one really talks about her anymore, or really, acknowledges her in the final season. That was kind of sad, but I'm happy she got her dad back. I just wish that, we could see I got my dad back, but, I'm still hurting over my mom, or, that her dad, talks to her about it, or, there's some confrontation there about what happened to her mom. But we didn't get that, and, again, there might be more, who knows. It's okay, though. It didn't spoil the show for me. It didn't make it, bad, really. I'm also really happy about Bow and Glimmer's relationship. I'm really glad that they made up, because I was really worried about that, because it was so hard to see Bow wanting to be friends with her and wanting to be made up, but he had to be like, oh no, I'm mad, I'm supposed to be mad, so I can't be nice, so I can't be happy around her. And that hurts so much, because that trope just gets me. One thing I was really worried about in the show was if they were going to talk about Bow's dads when they got back to Etheria, and if he was going to be really worried about him, because for a few episodes there, they seemed to kind of disappear, and this whole war is going on. You think the first thing you would think of is your parents, but when they weren't really mentioned, it wasn't tackled, I was really worried. I was oh no, but what about Bow's dads? Are they just forgotten forever? But luckily, we see that they're just hiding out in a little Etherian cave, just spelunking together, which I'm really glad they're okay, because his dads are some of my favorite characters, because they're so silly. They're such a good design, good characterization. Speaking of gay representation, I'm actually really glad we got to see Netossa and Spinnerella again, especially more in a out there, together vibe. Because apparently, I didn't know this, but if you look it up, they're actually married, which is actually very interesting because I didn't know. I think one of the main writers, or the main writer, creator of it, she came out and she did a little Q&A on her Tumblr. I'll probably link it down below somewhere so you guys can read it. But I found that like really interesting, especially since, you know, we've seen them as background characters and like other things, but we haven't really seen, you know, them like making big interactions on screen with each other. And I'm so glad to see them, because I thought they were really cool character designs, and they're way more interesting than the original. Because though the original's good and it's meant for, you know, it was meant for selling toys, and you know, I don't think the She-Ra is meant for selling toys. I think it's meant to have a good character design and good story, and that's what I like about it. I really like the character designs, especially She-Ra got a new design, which I really love. And you can, again, on the writer's Tumblr blog, she posts like where the like concepts for that design came from, and apparently there's some from each of the main 3 characters that we see in Adora's life. Because the headpiece is from Catra, she has a heart on her chest from Bow, and the wings on her shoes are from Glimmer, as you know, because Glimmer had that in the first season. I just secretly wish that she kept the like, oh god, it's a Greek god, I think it's Apollo maybe? Someone in Greek had winged shoes. Hermes. It's Hermes. Because he's the god of messages. Dang it, I was wrong. You think being a past Percy Jackson kid would give me a heads up on that stuff, but apparently it doesn't. But yeah, I actually really love the redesigns, and I really love Catra's redesign also. I love short hair Catra. I guess you put any person in short hair, and I love it, because I also have short hair myself, because what's the point, you know? And just seeing Catra like have this big mane of hair and just get it cut down to this little swoopy puffy mess is really cute in my eyes. I kind of wish, out of all the characters that got like redesigned, I kind of wish we got to see like a Scorpia redesign maybe, of how she would look, you know, on the good side, on the rebellion side, because her design is basically still the Horde design, and although that's also a good design, I kind of wish that Scorpia got a little extra redesign, because I think out of any of the characters that deserve love, Scorpia is definitely one of them. She's like definitely one of my favorites, because she reminds me a lot of myself, in that I vibe with her a lot. She's very loving and very kind, and that's the kind of stuff I think in a character. But she doesn't have much self-confidence, and I get that. And I really loved her relationship with Perfuma out of everyone. And I really love how they really just kind of accepted her right away, especially Perfuma out of all of them. But like, one thing that I was kind of like all about is how nobody really trusted Entrapta though, and which I get because she made the bots that attacked them, but Scorpia attacked them too, you know. But, you know, I get it. I really love also how Scorpia kind of stood up for Entrapta, because Entrapta is one of my favorite characters. And I really love how they designed her and handled her, especially how they handled her characterization and how they coded her as autistic, really. And it really hits hard especially when, like, the yelling scene at the camp, when they, like, start yelling at her and she's just really, like, confused. Like, she knows, like, something's wrong, but she doesn't really understand, you know, what she did, or, you know, why everyone's taking offense to this. And that's something I really get, and I really feel not bad for her, but I feel like I know a lot of people in the fandom don't like her or think she acts childish, which is very far from the truth in my eyes. Because out of everyone, she seems like the most mature. She immediately adapts to situations. She immediately takes a handle of, like, you know, what's going on with, like, the bad people. And she's also very caring to people who you don't think need to be cared for. Like, her love for Hordak and Wrong Hordak, and just her interest in mechanics really gets me. So I'm really glad she got handled very well as a character and got a lot of love, because they could have made her the, like, oh, this stupid little mechanic girl, you know, that everyone doesn't like. But I'm really glad they changed that, because, well, they didn't change it, they didn't do it, because that would have really ruined Entrapta for me. Oh, and I'm really glad we got to see more of the princesses, like, just interacting without She-Ra, because I love She-Ra, but it seems like every time, like, the princesses are doing something, they're just like, oh, we need She-Ra. And then, you know, they don't really get to show off their own cool powers. But I'm glad they kind of stepped away from that, because Adora, you know, broke her sword to save Etheria, and she lost She-Ra for a little bit, but not forever, because, hey, the namesake of the show is She-Ra. We can't have She-Ra without her. But I'm also really glad that Adora kind of realized that She-Ra isn't her, even though it is. She doesn't have to do everything for everyone else. She can kind of make her own decisions and figure out what she wants in life. Because I never really liked Shadow Weaver, and I definitely didn't like Shadow Weaver putting forth Adora over Catra, especially in a sense that, like, Adora needs to sacrifice herself for everything, because that's what she's supposed to do, when, you know, Adora is also a person, and she should also get to make her own decisions and get to make her own destiny, really, despite what everyone else is saying and everyone else is doing, which I'm really glad they kind of explored that, and they kind of explored what, you know, what that means. One thing on this painting I wish, and you'll see later, is I did a lot of lighting, and I wish that I learned how to do rim lighting, because I thought that would be really cool. But hey, another video some other time, because I'm really happy with how this one turned out, and how the colors really look, and how everything is really, like, nice and soft looking in my eyes. I really like how this line art turned out, especially because I haven't drawn sides of faces in a while. I haven't drawn God, what what is it? What's the view called? Forget it. I just haven't drawn it in a while, and drawing two of them at the same time, you know, challenge, but I did it, and I'm glad of how it turned out. I think the hardest thing on this drawing was coloring in all these stupid little leaf laurel things, because they took a long time and I didn't want to color outside the lines. But that's kind of hard when you make very sharp points and your brushes are round and not pointy. So I had to end up doing a lot of cleaning up on these, but it came out good. And luckily for me, since there's two of them, I also could use the copy and paste, so I only had to really color and shade one set of them, and then I just copy and pasted it. And I don't think it's cheating in any way, because I did draw it. I mean, honestly, if Picasso had a copy and paint tool, let's all be honest, he would probably use it. Speaking of characters that I actually really do like, I wish we got more of the Star siblings. I really wish we did. Or, you know, I wish they, like, came to Etheria. Or, you know, maybe in the future, who knows, since they left it really open, we can see more of just them on, like, a different planet, helping our people, helping Shira, Bow, Glimmer, and Catra free the world's magic. Hopefully we can see that, because I really like them as characters, and I really love that episode. I was kind of worried for Glimmer for a while, because again, I really wanted Bow and Glimmer to get, like, be friends again, because I know that, like, sometimes your friends make stupid decisions, and sometimes that you don't agree with them a lot, but that doesn't mean you're not friends, and that doesn't mean you can't, like, forgive them, unless, of course, the decision is terrible and it affects you in a terrible way. You know, you should think about, did they mean to hurt you, or did they mean to, you know, was it accidental or not? Because, you know, I'm actually really happy with how She-Ra ended, because I know a lot of shows and a lot of cartoons don't really feel finished to me. They don't really have, like, a good ending that I can go back and rewatch and really be happy with how they ended. And I think that's just something with cartoons, because I watch a lot of anime, and anime never really feels like that to me. Well, I mean, besides some animes, like Naruto, never really felt like a good ending to me. But I guess it's because they just wanted to make Boruto, but that's neither here nor there. There's a lot of stuff that I wish we saw more of, but overall I think as a cartoon with multiple representations and multiple, you know, different people, I think we got a lot of good stuff out of it. And I think that I look at a lot of cartoons nowadays and I don't really find them interesting or funny, and I don't really like them. There have been a few good ones here and there, but overall, cartoons nowadays just don't feel as good as they used to be. And I'm old, I know that's what every older person says about every younger thing, but I really mean it, and I'm really glad that we get shows like She-Ra, and we get, you know, stuff that feels good, and that you'd kind of be happy when your little nephew sits down to watch with you. I think in terms of episodes that She-Ra really felt like every episode was there for like a little bit of a reason, even if you didn't really know the reason. You kind of every episode gives you more insight on like the characters or the lore, the story, Etheria. Really, you gotta say, there really is no character I don't like. There are characters that have done things that I don't like Shadow Weaver, but as like a character, she's really cool. She has a great design. Her personality is interesting. Her voice is so good. Props to the voice actor. I'm also loving all of the little mini theories that are coming out about Etheria and all the characters and stuff. And all the little fan headcanons about how the future will be for them. Which, everything seems like really interesting and really cool. And right now I am shading the characters. I really didn't know how to do the shading because I haven't really practiced on digital shading. I've done shading in real life where I had an object in front of me and I copied the shading there, but I never really done real life shading. And I'd say it shows. I say it kind of shows. It really, definitely. But, areas to learn in, areas to keep growing. Places to keep moving forward and keep getting better, because that's all I can do is get better. Because if I don't, then guess I'll just stick like this. See, I guess I kind of tried to do quote-unquote room lighting, but I didn't really get it right. But I should, again, learn. I think it'd be really cool to just learn. Because I really enjoy the lighting effect that gives. And I really enjoy the look of it. I really enjoy the overall feeling of it. And right here is where I realized I deleted my line art. Which, honestly, what could be asked of me? I expect nothing less from myself. And here I'm using I think it's like the luminosity tool that Procreate has to make the Heart of Etheria. I really found it cool that the design of the Etherian language, the first one's language and stuff, felt very really cool to me. It all felt really space agey. And right now I'm just messing around with lighting. And I thought that the lighting did look good on this background. Yeah, so I started to change the background and see what's a good amount of lighting and what looks good for this particular drawing and this. I figured out I didn't like that shading. I didn't like the dark colors. So I tried to find a better color. I think I ended up going with a goldy, that goldy orange color. Really orange. It's not orange, it's yellow, but it only looks orange on because it's an overlay. I'm kind of obsessed with overlays, if you can tell by my art. If you can. If you can't, I'm kind of obsessed with overlays. And again, I'm really glad that luckily I could copy and paste this to the other side, because who knows, if I had to draw two of these, if I had to shade two of these things, this video probably wouldn't be up for like another week or so, or more, who knows. But also, I plan to be making like a few shorter videos, because I know that these long 30-minute videos can get really tiring and boring, especially to listen to me talk for 30 minutes straight, because don't know if I have a lot to say, don't know if I have a lot of good stuff to say, don't know if I can say anything at all, but I hope that having me talk over it and not some lo-fi hip-hop is better than, you know, just watching it straight with music, because sometimes music can make stuff a little bit more boring, in my opinion. Especially like when it comes to art, you just kind of, I know a lot of people just want to see like the final product and not really want to see the like the here to there. But you know, to each their own. Again, I really am happy with how this piece turned out. Again, if I were to change some things, I might, but you know, it's okay. I think I really like the colors and the shading style and the lighting of it. And I'm really glad I got to play with lighting, because I really usually don't get to. But I'm probably gonna end up doing more play with lighting, because it'd be a fun thing to learn and a fun trick to have to do cool lighting. And you see, this is the point where I get tired of shading these and just kind of get a lot of messy edges, because again, when you have to shade all these little leaves individually, it gets kind of tiring and it gets really, really boring. But lucky for you guys, you get to see a sped up version, so you didn't have to sit through the 2 or more hours of me drawing this in real life. I'm pretty sure all 2 hours were this. Just me shading and coloring in these leaves. I do really hope that we get to see more cartoons and stuff from the people who made She-Ra, because I think that the story they told and the characters they brought to life on screen really were very good. Very good characterizations, very good. very likable in every sense. There was always someone to like fall in love with on screen. Especially all the songs were super funny and super good. There was not a song that I didn't immediately love. And here you can see me copying and pasting the colors in hopes to match them. And I'm playing with backgrounds again. I first went with green because I thought it'd be like a good, like, Etherean color, especially since there's a lot of red in their designs and in their palettes. But eventually I went for a dark blue to really hope and make them pop. And I cut down some of that useless canvas that wasn't really being used for anything. Oh, yes. And this is when I start to color in the line art, which, glad I figured out how to do that, because though I like the look of black line art, I think that I like the softer look of the browns and the like skin tones and the colors that match well with it. It's just one thing I don't like coloring is blonde hair, because I know like a really dark shade of blonde feels like a good color, which is kind of odd to me because I myself have blonde hair and it's my least favorite hair color to color. Just something about it. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of having to choose a washed out browny gray yellow color for the line art. Just not a fan. And I don't know why. I think it is just the color. I think it's just the fact that I don't like that browny gray blondie color. I don't. Because I don't think anyone's hair actually has that color. Especially not mine. But, you know. Oh. And we are almost done now. I actually changed the stuff. Playing around with the lighting again. I secretly wish I made this lighting a little bit brighter instead of the like light blue. I wish I went for like a very more like baby kind of blue instead of this kind of like opaque blue. But I think overall it turned out good and I actually really like it. And I actually really love the show, so I think it was a good homage and a good celebration of Cachorra being finally canon out of 5 seasons. So, you know, let's hope to see more of She-Ra, or, you know, if She-Ra's done, let's hope the people at DreamWorks make another wonderful show like this. Because this one, they did right. And that's 1 and 2, so maybe make another good show to raise your stakes better, DreamWorks. I hope y'all enjoyed. I have been Nox, and this has been Witching Hour Arts. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you enjoy my channel and my silly voice, please subscribe. Thank you.